Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel, and this is your tip of the week. This is outdoor fabric. Now these three right here I purchased at Walmart. I can't remember where I purchased this. It might have been from Joann's. So Walmart carries a little bit of outdoor fabric. Joann Fabrics and Crafts carries quite a bit of it and have a really nice selection. So if you're thinking about making outdoor cushions or recovering your cushions, then those are some sources you can go to. I've even seen outdoor fabric at Michael's Crafts. Now these I primarily have used for other things other than cushions. I've made placemats out of this, and I've also made table runners to be used outside. One of my favorite things to make out of outdoor fabric are tote bags. This is a beach bag, and it's got a zipper closure on it. So it's perfect for going to the beach because this fabric is going to hold up a lot longer in the sunlight than if you made it out of quilting fabric. So I'm going to give you some suggestions on how to measure cushions, maybe existing cushions that you have or that you've purchased, so you know how much fabric you're going to need to cover them. Now this particular cushion, I'm going to flip it over, is a slip cover. And this is how I prefer to make my cushion covers or pillow covers, because that way I can reuse the cushion that's inside, especially if it's still in good condition. So if you've purchased a cushion or you're recovering an existing cushion, here's how I recommend you measure it. So you want to go to the side seam in the very middle of the side, put a tape measure there, and go all the way across to the middle of the other side seam. And then, of course, you want to measure from here to the other side. Take whichever is the biggest and use that as your measurement. Now, you can either use a 1/4 inch seam while making your cushion or a 1/2 inch seam. So you need to add that into the measurement that you just did. So if you know you're going to do a 1/4 inch seam, then you're going to add a 1/2 inch to that measurement. If you want to use a 1/2 inch seam, then you want to add 1 inch to that measurement. Now also remember, don't forget to put ties in them if you're making a seat cushion. And you add these ties into this seam while you're stitching it all together. If you're going to make it a slip cover, you want to make sure that the two pieces you cut for the back are big enough to overlap each other. If you want your cushion to be more decorative, you can add piping into the seam. And this is just piping that's ready-made. You can get it at Joann's, also at Walmart also sells piping, or you can also make your own. Outdoor fabric easily unravels at the raw edges. So you need to be aware of that when you're working with it. So I recommend, if yours is unraveling a lot, I recommend using your serger, if you have one, to bind the edges. This is what a serge seam looks like. Or if you don't have a serger, many of your newer sewing machines have overcast stitches. If it's an older machine and you don't have any really nice overcast stitches, then you can use a zigzag stitch. So I would widen that zigzag stitch, tighten it up a little bit, and then bind your edges. Now this is for a pillow. It's just your typical square pillow. If you want it to look a little bit nicer and a little richer, you could add the piping to these. And also, if you're going to use your existing cushion, then of course I recommend you make it a slip cover. Some of you may want to make something that looks really decorative and different. And on this one, this is outdoor fabric, I took two large squares, extra large, bigger than the pillow, cut them down the center. So I took a solid and a print squares, cut them from corner to corner. Then take one of each and stitched those together. For those of you who do quilting, this probably looks familiar to you. This is an hourglass quilt block, and this looks very decorative. I really like this one a lot. It's probably one of my favorites for outdoor. So to make this one in a summary is you're going to start out like this. You make this block first, then you cut it corner to corner. Swap your pieces, stitch them together, and you wind up with an hourglass block. Now, if you're interested in these two designs, you would like to look at it a little with more detail, I do have a tutorial that I'm going to put below your YouTube screen in the description section. Whenever I make something for outdoors, I spray it with either a Scotch Guard or this brand here called Never Wet. And so this keeps the water, it just runs off. Also, it makes it easy to clean your outdoor items, whether it's your pillows or your placemats or table runners. You can just wipe it off. About 2 years ago, during the COVID time of our life, it was very difficult to get products, as many as you can remember. And we wanted to order some patio furniture for our new home. But we needed really heavy-duty patio furniture, really strong, because the winds where we live are very, very strong. Things will wind up in your neighbor's waterfall, because that actually happened to us. But not only does the wind hard on your patio furniture and pillows, but rats. So this was brand new, custom design. We spent a fortune on it, and a rat destroyed this pillow. So this is a corner pillow of this particular set of furniture that we bought. So this is going to actually be buried down in the corner. It won't be seen. So I found some other fabric that I'm going to use to patch this area. So if you do buy outdoor fabric, make sure you keep your scraps, because you never know when a rat is going to invade your territory. And just for fun, any of you have any problems like this with your patio furniture? Why don't you share it with all of us? I'm sure there's some humor in a lot of your stories. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tip of the week and that you learned something new. Start out with just a small project if you're not quite sure how to work with the outdoor fabric. Now, I have many tutorials that will be listed below your YouTube screen. So if you're interested in placemats or table runners that you could make for outdoor using outdoor fabric, go ahead and check that playlist out. I have a lot of different styles of table runners. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl. This is Manny. See you next time.